It's Thursday, the 4th of January, 2019. Kids, I'm at the beginning of the trail, the Lone Star Hiking Trail. It's right behind me over my shoulder. And I am going to start my 96-mile journey. It's rainy, it's about 48 degrees. And the forecast calls for some changing temperatures, but right now it is extremely wet and muddy, and it's going to start clearing up, but it's been raining for 24 hours or so. When I left San Antonio yesterday, it was not cold, but it was raining. Rained on me the whole drive over to Houston to Richie's house, and then this morning, looking at the weather, I'm gonna have some days in the 70s. A couple of nights in the low 30s, and then I'm gonna have some days in the 70s. And I just didn't pack for warm weather, and so I've got a heavier pack than I wanted, because today we went by Walmart and got some shorts, because I'm afraid I'm gonna have to cross a river by swimming, and I'm afraid that I'm going to have to wear some clothes that aren't as warm as these with the 70-degree temperatures. And I can tell you right now, this trail is waterlogged. My feet are gonna get wet. I've got the waterproof shoes, but there's no denying that I am going to be wet these first couple of days. So I'm having trouble walking through right now. Oh. Hey kids. It is, hold on, 2:50. I am at about 8.7 miles, and gonna stop and have lunch. So I'm a little behind schedule. I'm gonna try to get to mile 16.5 and camp at Lake Conroe. Beautiful site. I've been there before, and looking forward to it. And it's pretty. Hopefully I can get there before nightfall. I've got to pick up the pace, which I have been since about mile 5. It's been pretty, well, I don't know how you describe it. Well, it's wet, it's muddy, my feet are wet. It's 40 degrees out here. Yes, I'm in short sleeves in 40-degree weather because, well, I'm busting my butt with this 40-pound pack on. And look forward to get back on the trail, but I'm gonna take about a 30-minute break, eat some peanut butter and honey on tortillas, and relax a little bit. And so while I'm doing this and enjoying myself, getting some protein and some carbs in me, why don't y'all look at some of the highlights from my day so far. Well, I just passed the 4-mile mark. The crossover for the stream is right down there. I don't think it's too deep, but I found something fun to do. I'm gonna cross on that. I'll let you know how I do. just walk in the water. It's about 2 inches below my knees. But you do what you gotta do. I guess either that or turn around, and that's not an option. Oh, this is much nicer. And it continues. Alright, I cannot see down there. One good thing about it being cold, I don't think there's any snakes. And you know what? It's just water is over the bridge. That's what it is. The bridge is here, and I'm walking on it. It's just underneath the water. Whoa! There's where it's going. When you start a hike, flash flood warning, this kind of thing happens. Alright, let's get going.
Well, it's about 9:30. Maybe, no, yeah, about 9:30. I'm laying in bed. I need to get some sleep. I got to camp about 7:30. I had to walk in the dark for about 2 hours to get here. I'm at the 16.5 mile point in front of Lake Conroe. It's not one of the campgrounds established for hunting season, but it's as far as I could get, and you'll see why I couldn't stay at any of the campsites before this one. So Gordon and Gracie, while Dad falls asleep and gets his much needed sleep after hiking 16.5 miles today, you watch what interesting day I had. Hiking became swimming. The water was so great from the rain. It was quite the adventure. You watch while I sleep.
I remember this place the first time I hiked through here. It was late March. It was full of mosquitoes, water and mud everywhere. So I imagine that this is about to get ugly as far as water and knee-deep stuff, and we'll see how it goes. It's between point A and point B, so I have no choice but to walk it. Well, it's like a nice lake, right? Nope, that's the trail. I gotta go. Splashing through the trail. Yes, that's my feet in here. This sign is pointing to a primitive campsite that you can go camp at. It's half a mile down there. Don't think I'll be camping there tonight, nor will anybody else. Keep going on. Yes, those are my thighs in thigh-deep water. Gotta get out of here. It's cold, very cold, but not the coldest I've ever seen, but it's cold. And I mean, I'm having a good time. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's a relief. Now I'm about 3 inches above my ankles. This place, oh, it's getting deeper again. I remember this place very well the first time I attempted this. There were mosquitoes everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. I had the bug net on, long sleeves. Oh, and it was hot and humid. I'll take this cold water halfway up my thighs than mosquitoes. It looks like I've got a big fast current coming up here. I better go check this out. Let's see. Oh boy. You see this white blaze right here? They have them all throughout the trail. This is for people going the other direction. There's one over there. It tells you that you're on the trail. So this is definitely the place I have to cross. You're not gonna believe this. Look at that fast moving water. Could have been at work today. So here we go. I hope it's not as deep. I hope it's moving fast because it's shallow. Oh, look at it right over there. Oh, it's deep. Okay, I might want to rethink this. Oh yeah, over here is a log. I'm gonna go try to cross over there. There is the log. It could just be floating, which it is. Oh, I'm gonna have to put the phone up. Y'all are just gonna have to trust me that I crossed here somehow. Somehow I made it across. It got deeper and deeper as I went. I guess that's south. So I crossed over here by that tree over there. It's very, very fast over there. But it was the shallowest. Anything else would have been up to my chest. This was just about up, you can see, to my pockets. So, time to start moving on. But kids, don't try this at home or anywhere. The first time I hiked this trail, I filled up with water underneath that bridge. I remember it now. The water's above it. I'm sure the damage is probably from Harvey, but I'm hoping I can get across it. Let's find out. Only one way to find out, and that's to try it. Oh, this is a very heavy. Oh wow. Here's the creek. I remember walking right down there underneath this bridge and getting water. So that's above my head probably, or close to it. I don't know. I'm gonna look down here. Oh, look at all that trash building up down there. Oh wow. Yep, I remember these steps right here. It's shallow there again. Okay, it's gonna be cold and wet. Right back there is where I got out of the water. According to my GPS, 0.63 miles of walking in the water. I'd say 90% of it was above my knees. And it's late, it's getting dark. I gotta get out of here. But before I do, the whole time I was in there, I kept thinking of a song. I don't know who originally did it, but Willie Nelson did a version of it called It's Flooding Down in Texas. And the only lyrics I can remember to that song is, it's flooding down in Texas and all the telephone lines are down. Well, there's no cell service here, right here. So I couldn't call for help if I wanted to. I don't know. Maybe my parents will get me a satellite phone so they don't have to worry about me. Well, good morning, kids. It's my second day. Thought I'd show you the view I have of Lake Conroe out of my tent.
I'm getting up a little later than I wanted to, but boy did I get a good night's sleep. Look at that. I love the spot. This is a great spot. So peaceful, nobody out on the water. It's about 36 degrees. I slept really warm in my sleeping bag. Now I gotta get up, break camp, get some coffee, get hiking.
Well kids, it's 8:45 in the morning. It's 40 degrees, 41 degrees. And I was 36 when I woke up. I had my coffee, had a breakfast, broke camp, and now I'm ready to go. As fun as yesterday was, I do not want to have to repeat that again. So I'm hoping I can stay dry today. The forecast is no rain except for possibly on Monday, 30% chance. Today will be the last day that it doesn't get into the 60s, and tomorrow, and then there's a couple of days where it's supposed to get into the 70s on this hike, low 70s. We'll see how that goes. Now, about 4 miles from here is Camp Stubberville, which is closed. It's a campground that the trail goes through, and it's closed because you can't get to it by car because Hurricane Harvey washed out a bridge a couple of years ago, about 18 months ago. And they're going to replace it rather than repair it. And it's closed to all traffic, including foot traffic. And from what I understand, if you walk across the bridge, it is a $200 fine. So, looks like your dad, if he's gonna complete this hike completely, is gonna have to commit a Class C misdemeanor and walk across that bridge. Here's hoping that the government shutdown has all the park rangers at home, and I won't have to worry about getting a ticket for walking across that bridge. See ya after the bridge. I have been walking uphill for a little bit. I mean, not a steep climb or anything, but enough to make a difference with the water on the trail. Something tells me I'm coming right up to Lake Stubberfield. And here it is, Stubberfield Campground. Stubberfield Recreation Area closed. Government shutdown. Well, that's not good. Well, I don't have a choice. So, it's a beautiful campground. Gordon, you and I stayed at one near here once in the RV, back when we had an RV, and had a good time. I think I come up to it later in the hike, but I camped here the last time, and guess I'm just gonna walk on through. I could probably get some. Yep. I'm gonna walk right by the road. Closed sign. People are fishing. He's got a snag. How you doing? All right. Even with all this flooding, you can still catch fish? I carry my food with me, it's easier. The little worry I had about here was all about nothing. People are putting their boats in the water, and so much for that road being closed. And people are putting their boats in the water. This goes out. Lake Stubberfield becomes Lake Stubberfield becomes Lake Conroe. So here's the area at the bridge that got washed out. No fishing, it says, off the bridge. Here I go, I'm crossing over. Okay, bridge closed. Let's see what happens. Daddy's breaking the law, Gordon and Gracie. Walking over a bridge that you're not supposed to walk on. You can see why the bridge is closed. Makes perfect sense to me. This is the fishing pier part of it. People would fish here. And I'm gonna get across this this bridge without a problem. I can see why it's structurally not sound and why it probably is a better idea to fix it. I mean, replace it than fix it. Catch anything yet? Well, that was easy enough. In fact, that was too easy. I wanted more of a challenge. I wanted to be the only person doing it. I guess I was the only person on the bridge. Well, up here to the left is where the trail starts again. Time to get back in the woods. Well, kids, I'm at the 20.3 mile mark, just past that bridge I walked over, and sat down, took off my jacket. Yes, it's 40 degrees, and I'm in shorts and a shirt, and but I'm at 20.3 miles for the entire hike, so I've got 76 more miles to go. And behind me is a parking area and a place you can camp, and there's a lot of hunters over there that have been camping. I've heard a couple of shots this morning off in the distance, pretty far away from me, hiking this far, and well, maybe a few people are getting some food to eat, and I'm hoping that the trail will be a little bit easier. Kids, I'm at about 9.8 miles for the day, I think, right around there, and according to my altimeter on my watch, I'm at 321 feet above sea level, which is the highest point I've been on the trail yesterday and today. So I'm gonna stop here because I'm about to start having to go down, and every time I go down there's a creek bed. But just to let you know, I'm at the highest point of the trail, and I've gone well over 26 miles, and it's still sloppy wet. I mean, it's just slop. So I'm gonna stop here, figure out what I'm gonna do. Maybe look at the directions again and everything, and maybe pick a spot and shoot for it. But I need a little rest. It's 1:49, so I've got plenty of time before sunset. I've got 5 hours, so I can get a good ways. 2.5 miles is about what I'm averaging. So if I did 5 miles, that would get me 4 o'clock to 15 miles. So I might get to set up camp during the daylight hours today. I hope. That's going to be my goal. Of course, I joked and said I was going to do 22 miles today. That's not happening. But I've got some pepperoni from H-E-B that I brought, 5 ounces, and that is 140 calories per serving. Serving size is an ounce, so that's 700 calories. Fix to eat some pepperoni, drink some water. Got some, not much left. 2 pounds a day really does it. I'll have some a Cliff Bar, protein bar, and a Cliff, a regular Cliff Bar. Ooh, coconut chocolate chip for to eat before dinner after I finish my pepperoni. And then just dinner. So 2 pounds a day of food seems about right, and you still feel hungry, so maybe I'm gonna lose some weight, who knows. All right, kids. Wish you were here. Not really. I wish I was with you, camping somewhere. But if y'all were here, you wouldn't be here. I love you guys. Maybe when you get a little bit older, you'll do something like this with me. Well, which way do I go? There's a blaze over there saying go this way if you're coming from the other direction. So I gotta believe I go this direction. But I don't see any marker, anything. I don't recall this. Well, I was right. You do take a left on that road, and supposed to go about, this is called something Old Cemetery Road, and they mentioned that it would have a cattle guard. I checked my directions, and that's what it says. I'm gonna head up this hill on this road for about, it says half a mile. The road's gonna fork, and I'm supposed to take the right fork, and then we'll see from there. It's a beautiful day, as you can see. It's just absolutely gorgeous day. And just to tell you the difference between hiking in that water and that mud and those, I was doing miles in about 26 minutes, maybe some is 27. And now I'm doing them. I did one on the road. It was 21 minutes long. So clearly, hiking in those woods will slow you down. Kids, I'm at the 32-mile mark, and last time I did this, that building down there wasn't under construction, and it had a water faucet, and I could get water from it. How you doing? Doing well, thank you. And I was kind of hoping to get water from there. It's a pumping station for this dam I'm coming up. This is a residential area here. This guy at that house right there in the middle offered me water to use his water faucet the last time I came through here, and I'd already used the one from that building. No, he's not here. So I'm stuck. And I mean, what am I saying? Look at the water right there. But it says not to use that water because of fertilizer these people put in their backyards, and I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm gonna skip this because there's plenty of water on the trail. And so I will skip this little dam here, this little water bit, and let's just go down here and see what we got. Hey kids, can you see me? No? Do you know where I am? Oh, well, neither do I. Here's my light. I'm off the trail, and it is pretty dark out here. Oops. Guess I better do it like this, huh? So, back to me. I mean, it's pitch black. There's no moon tonight. And there you go. I'm not scared like I'm gonna die scared. I'm scared like I'm gonna spend 2 hours finding where I need to go, and I'm not gonna get any sleep tonight. That's how I feel. But I can hear I-45 way off in the distance, yet I have no cell phone service. So without cell, I can't use my app that tells me when I'm off the trail and go in that direction. I do have my compass out with me, so I'm just heading east, continually heading east. And hopefully I'll get to where I need to be. This is the second time I got off the trail. I found myself the first time, but I'm right here. It's just, I'm a little bit better off now. But back when I found earlier, it was around Quicksand Creek or something. Quicksand Creek. And I couldn't follow my footprints back because the sand was just, they didn't make any footprints. They just went right back to the way they were. And now I'm not making footprints because I'm on this type of grass. So let's see if I get back. You know what? Beats a day at the office. Your dad's having fun. I love both of you. Check in with you at camp. Bye. Well, kids, I'm not lost. That's I-45. See that white line? That's I-45 service road. And I got back on the trail, and look, this is where the hiking trail is. I thought I remembered there being more room up here, and I would just camp up here. I don't want to camp up here, but being as late as it is, I thought I would camp up here. If I go down that road, that trail, it's wet. Right there. It's just wet. Trust me, kids, it's wet. So I'm gonna try to find one little tiny dry spot and just sleep here. Get to bed, wake up real early, try to put some miles in tomorrow so I don't have to worry about this if it gets late and I can stay on time. Okay, kids, so I've got two choices. Go back down there and camp, listen to these callers all night. I think I could fall asleep pretty quick. Or looking at the turn-by-turn directions, I've got 2 more miles. I gotta walk down Interstate 45 service road for 7/10 of a mile. And I've hiked this before, so I remember it. I've got 2 straight miles of road walking. Much, much easier, won't get lost, won't be wet. Get back into the woods, walk 1.2 miles to a primitive campsite. I camped at that campsite the last time I was here. I don't know if there'll be people there or not, but I have seen no hikers in 2 days. And it's not a hunter's camp, so I think I can get there and be by myself. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take that route. And time to get walking down Interstate 45. Well, kids, I got a problem. I made it here, 22 miles. I'm at the 38-mile mark. So that's 21.5 miles maybe. And that's not my problem. My cigarette lighter, the Bic lighter that I use to light my stove, won't create a spark. And I need that to eat what I've been craving all night, all day, coming over here. So
I don't know what I'm gonna do for dinner. I've got instant mashed potatoes, ramen noodles, and Spam. I was gonna make a ramen bomb, and I've done everything I can think of. I mean, a match weighs nothing. Why don't I have an extra match, right? I know. I even took one of the AA batteries I have for my radio to and touch the positive and the negative together with some metal to try to create a spark, but it's not enough power to do anything. So looks like I'm going to eat cold mashed potatoes tonight. That's what it looks like. I will tell you all about this another time. Love you. Gordon and Gracie. It's almost 10 o'clock. I'm eating my cold mashed potatoes. Cold mashed potatoes are better than no mashed potatoes. And I'm gonna have to figure out how to get a match or something to light. Hopefully I'll see somebody on the trail tomorrow. I might have some matches, something they can share, give me. Coming here was the good decision. I was just booking it. I don't know how fast I was going, but I was going pretty darn fast on that road. And then in the trail, I wanted to get here so bad. Glad I did it. I'm at the 38-mile mark, so I am 38.2. So I am 6 miles ahead of schedule. My hope is to finish this on Tuesday. Still have enough time to go to the state park, use my state park pass, which allows me to get in at no cost, take a shower, and then find the biggest hamburger in the world. I don't know where they sell that, but I've got a good feeling in the Houston area they can come pretty close. So I want a big hamburger when this is over. That's what I'm craving. And I don't know. That's about it. When I got here, this place is wet. This primitive campground is wet, but it's not soaking wet. And so I set up my tent. My rain fly was wet. I did not realize how wet it was this morning when I packed it. It was wet from the morning dew, but I don't know why. It's gonna get below the dew point, 3 degrees below the dew point tonight. Dew point is 42, and it's gonna get 39 tonight. So it's gonna be wet. Everything's gonna be wet in the morning. So everything's in the tent with me, except for things like my shoes, which are soaked, my water bottles. That's it. Everything else is in here with me. And that's it. I'm having a great time. I know it doesn't seem like it because I keep showing the bad stuff, but I'm having a really good time and I'm enjoying myself. And can't wait to see y'all again. And in the meantime, I'm gonna hike this trail and enjoy myself, enjoy the peace and the quiet. And you know, just know that I love you. I miss you. And it won't be too long before I see you again. Probably about 10, 11 days. So, love you. Talk to you again. Good night, guys. Good morning, kids. It's a little bit before 8 o'clock. Once again, I slept through my alarm, but I kind of needed it, so just moving my legs around. My ankles are the things that hurt the worst, believe it or not. But look what is happening. I've got fire. It's working. Last night it wouldn't work at all. Guess it dried out. I haven't even opened up the tent yet, but I'm gonna get started here, and because I have fire, I can get some coffee. That's good. And I got 7 miles to go to the furthest point I've hiked on this trail before, and then everything else will be new. And 10 miles to go until I'm the halfway point. We'll see how many miles I get in the day. And time to get up and start day 3 of the hike.
All right, kids, I'm leaving the campsite just before 9 and getting back on the trail here. I'm sore all over, but I feel pretty good. One thing that hurts worse and noticeably is my ankles. So that's got me a little worried, but I don't know. We'll just see how that goes. I'm not gonna do as much videoing today. It's day 3, and I really want to get to camp before dark. And I really want to put in 16 miles, and I'm leaving kind of late for that. I've got some roads to walk on today, so I'll make good time on those. And high's supposed to be 68, and then I don't know, I didn't check what it's supposed to get down to today, but I hope that the dew point is, it doesn't reach the dew point, because I really want to dry out that tent. And anyway, walking straight into the sun, it's in my eyes, and gonna get started here on day 3. Love you, Gordon, love you, Gracie, and I will see you down the trail. Hey kids, I'm on 4 Notch Road, about 2.4 miles on this road. It was about 1.5 miles from the camp to the first farm to market road I had to get on. I think that was 29, 27. And it was wet, not as wet as some of the other trails, but enough to remind me that my feet are wet. But I feel good. My ankles are a little sore. Wasn't watching what I was doing and twisted my right ankle just a little bit, but it's not slowing me down, but it's letting me know it's there. In other words, my dogs are barking. I saw some beautiful cows, not cows, beautiful horses a little ways back, and waved and talked to the guy who had the horses, and I got attacked by a Yorkshire Terrier. But that doesn't even come close to running into that wild hog last night. Walking in the woods. Luckily, there was a barbed wire fence between that wild hog and me, but it still scared the daylights out of me to see a almost pitch black wild hog at 9 o'clock at night. And you know, if I had a gun, I would have eaten really well last night, but I didn't. So I wouldn't have eaten very well because I didn't have a fire. So anyway, see you on the trail. Love you both. Hey kids, I'm at primitive hunting camp at mile marker 45. I'm at the point where I've hiked as far in 2.5 days as I hiked in 4 days in 2 separate trips. So I'm quite proud of myself so far. There's a porta potty behind me. About 100 yards down the road, some people on their private land with a camper. They're probably out here hunting on their property. They got a fire going and it smells so good. And I missed the turn to the little road 213, county road 213 or something that this is on. And I should have made it right at the 7 mile mark. I was just daydreaming. Such a pretty day. It is so beautiful today. And the temperature's perfect. A little hot for hiking, but perfect for just sitting around.
And I was just daydreaming, talking to God, thinking of you too, and how great of kids I have. I just missed a turn. And my watch beeped, said I'd gone 7 miles. And I was like, I was thinking I had walked pretty far. I had to turn around. But luckily, it was only a 3/10 of a mile mistake round trip. So I'm still on time. Just had finishing up some peach iced tea. Gonna get back on the trail and keep going. I feel great. Front of my ankles hurt, like front of my calves. The muscles on the front of your legs, right at the ankles where that ligament is, they hurt. Each time I walk, it reminds me. But it's well worth it. Only thing to make this better, if y'all couldn't make it with me, maybe if I was hiking with a tall Romanian woman, that would make it nice. I don't know. I think so. Kids, this creek you just saw me cross is just past the halfway point, 48.2 miles. 48 being the halfway point. I need some water. I'm completely out, so I'm gonna get some water out of this creek and eat some lunch, and then keep going. I finally ran into some hikers, and maybe I'll tell you more about that when I'm eating lunch. I'm ready to get some water here. Okay, kids, right behind me is a fire pit, right there. I'm at 51.3 miles. I've got a decision. I could keep hiking. I would end up hiking in the dark again and get to 54 miles. About 2.5 of those miles are gonna be on road, so I could make them pretty quick, but it would still be dark when I make camp. The other choice is to stay here. Make a fire, pitch a tent. It's a little wet here, but I can still do it. And then, you know, I would still be 3 miles ahead of schedule, but I would have only put in 13 miles today. Well, I've made a decision. I came out here to enjoy myself and enjoy nature. And if all I'm gonna do is walk, just to save one vacation day, I may make the trip not worth it. So I've got 45 miles to go by staying here tonight. If I put in a lot of miles tomorrow, I can still do it in 2 days and finish early enough on the last day to do what I want to do when I get done. I'll make that decision tomorrow. By staying here tonight, I know I have at least 7 miles total of road walking. I make really good time road walking, about 3.1 miles per hour versus 2.4. I don't know, but staying here does increase the possibilities that I stay a 7th day. Well, I gotta walk back down to a creek, get some water, and then come back here, set up everything, and enjoy the night. Miss y'all. Kids, I've got a fire going. It's wet as can be out here, but I managed to get a fire going. That's all those years as a den leader, Gordon. Just kidding. All those years of playing in the woods with my friends and knowing how to look for dry wood when everything is wet. Hey kids, got a fire going. It's wet out here and I managed to get that fire going. It's getting bigger and bigger. I'm kind of proud of myself. Somebody, since it rained, camped here, tried to start a fire. Couldn't do it because they had a bunch of wood on there.
that had been, you could tell where they tried to start a fire and couldn't. And then they just left it there. And I came upon it, went out and find some dry leaves and some dry wood sitting on top of the ground, and some of it's a little wet, but it gets going after a while. I hadn't seen anybody in 3 days other than the people fishing and the people at the construction zone, and you know, when I was on the roads, except for a father and his two sons, an 11-year-old and a 13-year-old, and they camped out last night, not at this spot, but I saw them about 7-8 miles back, right before I had lunch, and they were out here, just father and two sons, spending one night out here, but that's it. I have not seen any other hikers. I am really enjoying myself. I'm going to sit by this campfire and cook me up some food and go to bed early tonight. I love both of you. Bye, Gordon. Bye, Gracie. Good morning. It's Sunday the 6th. It's 8:20 a.m. I suspect you're probably fighting to sleep to get up and go to church. Today was easily the muddiest day camping. If you can see behind me, that's where I camped, and because of those wood planks there, me sleeping on that wet ground just pushed the water to the sides, and it couldn't drain because of that wood. And I woke up to puddles. My tent is super wet. If you look at my backpack in the background, that green thing is my tent. I've actually got it on the outside of my bag today because I don't want to put that wet thing in my backpack. But it's time to get going. I'm gonna try to make 17 miles to another campsite, which would be a good day, and make another fire and repeat last night, because last night was my most enjoyable time on the trail, just listening to the sounds of nature, nobody else around, can't see past, you know, you can't see at all, there's no moon right now, and having a fire. That was a great relaxing time. So love you, Gordon, and I love you, Gracie, and I will see you down the trail. Matthew 11:28, Jesus says, "Come to me, all ye who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Maybe this church will give me some rest. Maybe I can find some water. This is the Evergreen Baptist Church. Looks like I was right. They got water back here. It's nice of this. Of course, I gotta admit, Gracie and Gordon, I knew about this hose because my turn-by-turn directions, it says that the church allows through hikers to come use this hose and get as much water as they want. So, but Jesus was still right. I'm weary, burdened after a hard day hike, and it's time for some water. So, I've got, I don't know, 4 more miles to go to that primitive campsite. And I've got like 1.7 to 2 miles left of road walking. This is on a big highway, but the rest of the walking's been an old dirt road. I don't know what's coming up here. I think it's a little bit more traveled road, but the other road was just a bunch of barking dogs and some people living out in the country. And, so about 4 more miles to go for the day, and I think it's around 3 o'clock, 3:30. I smell like a rainbow. Walking past the Evergreen Cemetery, I hear people are just dying to get in here. Well, kids, I'm at Big Arthur Road. Excuse me, Butch Arthur Road. Look at there. I get to go back into the woods again after 5 miles of walking on the road. And guess what's shown up? Blisters. Guess I could blame it on the road, but I walk on the road all the time, so. Anyway, back into the woods. Back to doing what I came here for. Good morning, kids. It's Monday, the 7th. I've broke camp. It's 8:35. It's the latest I'm leaving camp, but yet it's the earliest I've woke up. I've got a bad blood blister on my right pinky toe, and I found a leech this morning on my rainfly. I thought about giving it a lunch break, letting it have its lunch and drain my blood blister, but I decided that probably wasn't the best idea. Well, I have two choices today, 15 miles or 20 miles. Those are the next two campsites that I'm gonna try to get to. I'd like to do 20 because that gives me about 8 miles to do on Tuesday and it would be an easy day. If I do 15, then obviously I have 13 miles tomorrow to finish. So there's the third option. The third option would be to do 15 today, 5 tomorrow, 8 Wednesday. That's probably what my legs and my feet, especially my feet, want me to do. But I'm ready to get done with this. A couple things I'm gonna do differently today is only drink water when I'm filtering it. I'm not gonna carry water. Yesterday was a mistake filling up at that church. Drinking water at the church was great, but then I had to hike 6 miles carrying 5 pounds of water when there's water all over the place. This is the driest section of the trail, and in the summer there isn't water around here. There's water now, so I should have just drank water there, come here, filled up at the creek right down 50 yards down there, and would have saved myself a lot of weight those 5 miles I hiked, or whatever it was, after the church. So it's time to get on the trail. I love you, miss both of you. Did get the FaceTime with you last night. That was nice. And but I can tell you, as much as I've complained about my feet, the wetness, the legs hurting and so forth, this is actually very enjoyable. I feel sorry for people who can't find peace and happiness by themselves. They always have to have somebody with them. They're bored if they're not, etc. Can't just escape for a week by themselves and just alone with their thoughts. I don't know why anybody wouldn't want to do this. It's very, very enjoyable. Kids, this is the San Jacinto River, or the East Fork of the San Jacinto River. I believe the San Jacinto River forks and then forks again. And where I was flooded the first day was the West Fork. This is the East Fork, and then further on down is the actual river. That rope is designed to put your backpack on and let it slide over, or bring it, walk it over with you, and then you cross here. There used to be a footbridge. It's out. I think that's true. I could be wrong on that. But now, 100 yards north of here is where you cross. So I'm gonna go check that out. This is the hardest thing I'm gonna do today. Kids, I may be wrong. This may be the crossing, and this is 100 yards north of where the old crossing was. I just don't know. I do not know how deep that is. I gotta figure out how to get my backpack on this and just swim across the river, I guess. Guess that's what I'm gonna have to do. A rope a rope. My kingdom for a rope. This is not gonna work here. It's so deep. I think it's over my head. Certainly over my trekking poles, just a foot out. So my trekking poles come up to my belly button. If all I had to do was swim, I'd be over there by now. Take 20 seconds, maybe 25 seconds to swim over there. Not even that much, maybe. But it's my bag and keeping it dry and the electronics in my bag. So what I've done, I may maybe making a mountain out of a molehill. I don't know. I walked up the ways. I found a pine tree. That pine tree is huge, and it's fallen over the river. I'm gonna walk across it like I did on day one. Problem is, while it's a bigger pine tree, it's wet, it's slippery, it's a bigger fall, and it's over water. I don't know how deep it is. So when I cross, I'm only gonna cross with my backpack fast on my shoulders, not tightened, not snapped or anything, so that if I do fall in, I can just take the backpack off and I won't sink to the bottom. If I don't make it, kids, I love you. Your dad always loved you, and he always will. But I don't know, sometimes you gotta live a little. Some people jump out of airplanes. I crossed the East Fork of the San Jacinto River on a dead pine tree. Kids, of course you already know this because you're watching it with me, but I made it. That's it. It was easier than I thought, but it was not easy enough to where I'd do it again just to video it. Now that I'm on this side. And I actually took my glasses off and put them in my pocket with a zipper, so that if I did fall in, I wouldn't lose my glasses. I don't care about losing anything else, but not being able to see in the wilderness, I'd be lost with no phone, anything. So I'm ready to get back on the trail. This has cost me some good time. I still want to get to 20 miles. I know it'll mean I'm walking in the dark tonight, but I really love the idea of waking up tomorrow morning and knowing I only have 8 or 9 miles. Love you both. Glad I'm still here. Kids, I'm coming up to the 75-mile mark and coming up to the Double Lake Recreation Area. It's probably closed. I assume the government shutdown is still going on. I haven't checked the news since I started my hike. So, kids, I'm at the Double Lake Recreation Park and Campground, I think is what it's called. It's beautiful. Right here behind me are some bathrooms. I didn't check to see if the water's on, but the water's off at the water fountain up there. But the water fountains around the lake are on, so I don't have to use the lake water and filter it. But this would also be a concession stand behind me that I could be buying a Coke and a hamburger from. But I guess the government shutdown is still on, so I don't get to. In exchange for that, I have the whole place to myself. Where I came in on the video, the trail literally makes a U-turn. You make a U-turn and just head right back into the woods. So it doesn't come through here. It only comes to here and then turns right back around at a baby. Instead of a 180-degree turn, it's a 150, 160-degree turn. So I'm gonna have some pepperoni while I look at this beautiful scenery. I've switched drinks from, I'm out of the peach iced tea. Now I have half lemonade, half iced tea. So a little Arnold Palmer for me. Thank you, Arnie. Appreciate you making this drink popular. And I'm gonna keep on going. I have about I think I gotta get to the 86 mile mark, no, 88 mile mark tonight. So I got 13 more miles to go, and I'll only have 8 tomorrow. That's my goal. If I'm hiking in the night, which I'm gonna be hiking at dark, I brought my radio with me to listen to the national championship game, Clemson and Alabama, for the 4th year in a row, and I'll just listen to the ball game while I hike at night. Scare off all the animals when they hear the noise from the radio, maybe. Love you, and I'll be done in 6 days. Kids, I'm at trailhead number 13. The trailheads are where they meet roads and people can jump on the trail or get off the trail. And I'm at the 82.5 mile mark. I've gone like 13 and a half miles. The pace has been pretty good since lunch. I could go 1 more mile and camp and have 13 more miles to go tomorrow. Or here I sit a little bit after 5 o'clock and I can hike 7 more miles and only have 8 or 7 more miles tomorrow, and that's what I'm gonna do. That's my plan, and I'll tell you why I've made that my plan a little bit later in the video. And but it's time for me to get going back on the trail. No stopping, just make a little quick video and get going. I love you both. Hey kids, I'm sitting on a bench. This is the last primitive campground on the trail. I have 7.3 miles to go tomorrow, and I will have done all 96.4 miles. Besides being terribly exhausted, it's past 10 o'clock. The last 3 miles getting here were just me sloshing in ankle deep water. And tomorrow, I think I have it worse because the turn-by-turn directions say that about a mile up the trail is muddy. Can be muddy sometimes. Well, if that's not muddy, I don't know what is, so I'm going to find out tomorrow. Glad I did it. I'm exhausted. Would not have done it if I wasn't racing home. I'll explain more about that in the morning. I am tired, and we'll talk to you in the morning. Love both of you. Miss both of you. Bye. Good morning, kids. It's the last day. It's Tuesday. Time to hit the trail. 7.3 miles today, so an easy day to wrap up. Plan to be finished by noon. It's about 8:30. Had a great campsite today. Wonderful. And didn't get to use it, but I will remember this one. Had 2 logs and a bench. The logs were next to the fire. I could have sat on the logs instead of the ground next to the fire. And but it's time to hit the road. I'm ready to see what that muddy looks like on the turn-by-turn directions, because what I've been walking through has been wet and muddy. Oh, maybe it's going to be the worst today. I don't know. It's gotten better each day on the trail. I've had more fun each day on the trail. And well, I told you why I would want it to finish by noon today. One, I get to the state park, Huntsville State Park, use my day pass to get in for free, take a shower, freshen up, go on my never-ending
search for the world's greatest hamburger. And once I have that, get back into Bernie. And then 3 or 4 weeks ago, Gracie, you asked me if I could come eat lunch with you at school. And I told you that I used to do that in kindergarten and first grade because you were 11 miles from me, from my work, and I could do it. Now you're 60 miles from my work, your school is, so it's a little bit harder. But rather than rush back to work tomorrow, I'm going to take the day off so that I can come and visit you at school and surprise you for lunch. Every time I've done it, the look on your face of amazement and wonder and appreciation and love just makes it worthwhile. So I'm going to do it. You're only 7 once, and you're only in 2nd grade once, so I need to do it. Same goes for Gordon. Gordon's style is a little bit different. When I get there, you're going to want to sit at the table where the kids sit with their parents, if they have one, which I assume they do at this school. And Gordon's going to want me to sit with his friends at the table. I like both styles. I'll do both. I'll get to see you both. Excited about that. And it'll be worth taking a day off of work just to see that. So that's the reason I want to get done at noon today. I get my search for the world's greatest hamburger, and I get to surprise y'all at school. So it's time to hit the trail. Can't wait to see you. Love you both. Bye. Gordon and Gracie, I'll never understand iPhones completely. I don't understand why every time I do a selfie, it's mirrored. But behind me is the 96 mile mark. I don't know why it says 69. Maybe I can fix it in editing. Or it's just backwards, mirrored. But that's the 96 mile mark. I have 4/10 of a mile to go. Regarding the muddiness, muddy as all the rest of the trail has been in the worst spots, so nothing unusual. I did just cross some type of stream that is, the bridge is out, and it came up to halfway to my thighs. Found out my iPhone still works, so I guess it is water resistant. It's been a very enjoyable trip, and one that I can now say I did. These last 4/10 of a mile, gonna kind of miss it. Maybe not the next day or two, but I'll miss being out here again. And maybe you and Gracie, Gordon and Gracie, will want to come hike a little bit of it with me when you get older. And that'll be fun. Maybe we can go hiking in Colorado or Virginia or someplace far away. I did it. 96.4 miles, kids. Right there. I finished. That's the end. What a fun time. You're not supposed to be prideful, but I'm a little prideful that I did it. Especially being 45 and out of shape. But when people ask me, when I tell people I did this, that I hiked the longest trail in Texas, they're probably gonna say, why? Or ask why. Say, so? Or say, do you not have transportation? Do you not have a car? Really did this for myself. So, really what you get out of it is personal satisfaction. And sometimes
doing things that other people wouldn't do is just something you do. When Sir Edmund Hillary climbed Mount Everest, they asked him why he was going to do it. By the way, Sir Edmund Hillary was the first person to climb Mount Everest, the tallest peak, tallest mountain in the world. And when asked why, he said, because it's there. Well, kids, I hope that you'll learn from my example and just do some things just because they're there, or just because you find satisfaction in them. Some of them will be hard, and you'll do hard things. I love both of you, and enough with the parent talk. I smell like a dead animal. The only body products I've had out there have been toothpaste, toothbrush, and a little dental floss. So I'm ready to go to Huntsville State Park, use my day pass to get in at no cost, my annual pass to get in at no cost, take a shower, and go on my continuous search for the world's greatest hamburger. Love both of you. Thanks for watching.